The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Our awkward intros have not been awkward as of late. Like they've been like, meh.
Just start yelling and then throw a ball at the end.
If you ever need any help with it, I could talk about how I was hanging from a Greek man's balls.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, family. This is the most unprepared podcast on the internet, also known as PSVGOT. I'm your host, Coach Bo, and I'm here with my brother, my dude, Mr. Deve Tyus. How's it going, my friend?
It is going great. I am chilling. I got my G Fuel. I'm on stream number 2. Things are good.
Little mad at you guys. I bought the G Fuel. I do not like the G Fuel. It's not tasty. There's not enough caffeine. Give me black coffee, and I'll live my life that way.
Not enough caffeine. You're
Not
doing
enough
it wrong.
caffeine.
You're doing it wrong.
Well, I'm a very large man. Remember, you guys are all Oompa Loompa sized. So I'm just saying. Now, joining us today is our corporate sponsor, the Xbox Drive. Corporate sponsors, or as I like to call them, Spuddies. Sponsors and buddies put together. Come on, folks. That's hilarious. If you're not laughing, you're doing it wrong. How's it going, Sean? Are you doing okay, my friend?
Yeah, I had a bit of a car wreck earlier this week, but I'm feeling okay.
No, he
man.
did not.
Everything's fine.
Everyone's going to worry about you.
Yeah, no, it was totally fake. It was special effects. It was podcast special effects. I'm fine.
Oh, my
Everything's
goodness.
great.
They
Thanks,
got
guys,
me.
for having me. This is awesome. I'm back already.
I know, we're so happy. And also joining us is the other half, because we learned in the last thing we did that two halves make a whole. Mr. Luke Lohr, the insipidest of ghosts. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me and my dog and Sean and all. Thank you for having us on. So exciting.
This is the best.
It's the least we could do after you guys sponsored us. I mean,
Mhm.
come on.
It was a lot of red tape. I told you guys in the last or in the show proper that it was a lot of red tape. Right, Sean?
Yeah, all we had to do is like get back-ended into a sponsorship, and now we're on this show. This is awesome.
It's amazing.
I feel like I'm here by accident, but that's cool.
I found out 3 hours ago.
I know. I
That's-
wish I didn't say anything.
listen.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Like I said, our unpreparedness is what makes us great.
Exactly.
I feel like if we were more prepared, we'd probably be more consistent and the show would probably be better. But if we did that, you wouldn't laugh as much at us. And
There's no way to
laughing at
know.
us is like laughing with us.
We'll never know.
And
I
the
mean, if
world-
we were prepared, we'd just be PSVG proper. And who wants that?
we'll find out on Monday.
Right?
All right. Now, this is, of course, a storytelling podcast where we like to tell stories and to build these relationships up. It's the things that we loved from other podcasts when they would do it. And so this week, I kind of had a little bit of time to mess with some stuff and really dive into something that I thought was going to be just a great story, knowing that the end goal was we're going to have the Xbox Drive here. So our story is going to be, what is your first Xbox, oh my goodness, memory?
Ooh.
I'll start first. I'm a young man, okay, 6'7", 395 pounds, 17 years old. And I remember playing varsity football and going over to a friend's house. And when I got over there, he had this magical green box. It was the original Xbox. On it, he had this game that I just thought had to have been made up somewhere. It was one of the Tony Hawk games. I remember playing it and seeing the sweet, sweet grinds. I remember jumping around and going ballistic, enjoying this game. Then he put in something called a Morrowind. I don't know if you guys know this. This is a made-up world where you are a different race or being or sex, whatever you want to be, and you make this character and you go around doing whatever you want. I remember playing this game for like 4 hours. And he goes, hey, how far did you get in the story? And I go, what story? I will remember that night forever because he just let me and my brain go nuts in this Xbox world. I saved up my pennies. I saved up my cash. I worked hard. I got one for myself, and it led to one of the best things I've done because it's a hobby that has helped me grow as a teacher and as a person. And that's my best Xbox story. So going out of order, I'm going to go over to the Xbox Drive first. Sean, what's yours?
God, how do you pick one? You know what I mean? Like I was tempted to jump into like the first time I saw Gears of War, but I think I should go a little earlier because it's even more profound than just the Xbox itself. The first time that I ever saw an Xbox is the story that I'm going to tell, which why did I say Xbox weird? That was strange.
It's just
anyway,
all right.
Just moving on. I used to be a cashier at a grocery store called Safeway, which some people know and some people have no idea what that is. But it exists in both of our countries. Yeah,
we have Safeway. We have
Some people
Safeway.
have Safeway.
We have it over on the West Coast. Yeah.
See, I was the person who like rang your groceries through, and I like said hello, and I asked, "Wait, you don't have air miles? Never mind. Skipping those details." So I'm 16 years old. I'm not even a 17-year-old man. I'm probably is part of the OT. Do I have to tell you how much I weigh and like what my dietary restraints were at the time? Things like
I just
that.
do it because it always makes me laugh because people go, "Time out, you were how big?"
Yeah,
Right.
fair. Okay, so I'm a white 16-year-old man, maybe 150 pounds at the time. And all of a sudden, the 40-year-old, the grown-up, the very, very old man, the manager says, "Hey, we're going to have some people over. We're going to play some video games." And I'm like, hang on a second. You're real old. Like, how are you playing video games? I thought that was stuff for kids. And he's like, "Well, I love video games. I've got my Xbox. We're going to play some Halo. So come on over and play some Halo." And I was like, I've been hearing about this Halo game. I was reading about it in my PC Gamer magazine, and then now it's on consoles. So we went over to his house, and he had these 4 controllers, and these things were enormous in my tiny little 16-year-old hands. Like I tipped over as I held the controllers. I couldn't bear the weight. And we played until 2:00 in the morning playing this Halo game with adults. So yes, I was blown away by the graphics and all of the things that everybody is usually blown away, but I was mostly blown away by the fact that like maybe video games, I could be playing them longer than I was thinking at that time. So I had just kind of like this, my mind was blown in a number of ways the first time and it was all thanks to Xbox for that reason. But you took a manager's salary at a Safeway to afford that sucker because it was damn expensive.
Back to the OT, Dev. Now, if you don't have an Xbox One, I understand that you have some PlayStation love, so I have no problem with you flipping your heart over because I would want you to tell a great story because I love you so much.
So the first time, whoa, Xbox story, of course, revolves around Halo. I think it was actually Halo 2 because Halo 2, were they both on 360? Halo 1,
It wasn't the original.
Halo on 360, wasn't it?
And it was first Xbox Live enabled without hassle.
Okay. So either way, I'm pretty sure it was Halo 2 that we were playing. And it was one of my boys who I work with at Best Buy. And I went over to his house. Of course, you know me, I'm the PlayStation guy. This Xbox thing, whatever. We don't care about Xbox. It's a giant brick that looks like an egg. It's garbage. So we don't care about that thing. So I go over to his house and they're all sitting around like, all right, let's play some Halo. I'm like, Halo? I got to play this Halo thing on the Xbox. All right, fine. We're all hanging out. We're having beers. I'm like, fine, I'll be game. I'll go ahead and play Halo. Next thing I know, it's like 2, 3 in the morning, and we're playing Halo still. This was like 10 o'clock that I got there. And it just really opened my eyes. It took me back to like the couch co-op because it was the 4 of us sitting with the split screen, which I hadn't done since the N64 and GoldenEye. And I'm like, man, this type of gaming still exists because we didn't have that on PlayStation in any way, shape, or form. So it was just really, really good to be able to get back to a game like that where you can just sit down with your buds, crack open a few brews, and play till 2 in the morning, shooting each other in the face. So it was a good time.
Respect. And Luke, how about you, bud?
Oh man, my first my goodness moment was probably when I saw that Doom 3 was there and on the original Xbox, like way back in the day, because I didn't have one. It had that monster controller, and I didn't understand what an Xbox was. I just did not understand it. I was a GameCube and PS2 and a Dreamcast guy. That was that generation for me. So it was kind of just towards the end of the life, and I loved Doom 3, and I still love Doom 3. It's just one of the best horror games ever. Lighting and stuff, and I could play it on my college PC because it was like the PC I got that was all ready for college. And then a dorm mate had an original Xbox, and they had Doom 3 on it. And I was like, I thought that was only on my computer.
Yeah, man.
It opened up this. It was just really cool. It was really cool. I have a cool 360 story as well at some point.
This is the OT, so go for it.
Right.
I sold plasma in college to pay for an Xbox 360 for Gears of War, because I saw Gears of War on an HD TV, and this was back when 360 launched, and so I sold plasma. I went all the time getting plasma to pay for an Xbox 360.
Man,
That's amazing, because I worked at Best Buy in college, and I also sold plasmas, but they were TVs.
I did the same.
Wordplay.
Oh,
I miss plasma TVs.
I wish I would have been smart enough to actually sell plasma to get an Xbox or anything. But
It's not too late.
I have one. So
That's right.
Get signed up, man. Get that X.
You never know. That
I
Xbox
have-
Classic, it's only one bad decision away.
Get another one.
No. We one
Well,
of
then
them-
why are you going to sell plasma then?
I'm saying back in the day, I wish I had been smart enough to.
Just being a dink.
Oh,
That
goodness.
PS3 was really expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, was that your second job or your third?
Fourth.
To get-
Fourth.
To buy that PS3, just get a second job.
I
cannot
feel like we
believe
have
that
very
was their
different
marketing.
stories, because I was playing collegiate football and just had extra money and just went and bought a
Oh,
PS3.
humble brag it up.
I just felt so bad. Like,
You should have
man.
just thrown it in a bag, like a duffel bag. Like, here's an Xbox and some cash.
I just every time I hear people talk about this, I think it was Seth over at the PlayStation Experience one. And they're like, "What's your first PlayStation memory?" I'm like, "Oh, I remember everybody was telling me how great this thing was, and I was in college being, taken care of to play a sport, and I remember just going in and buying it and going back and playing the Resistance game and going, huh, this is okay." Like, it's not. I just want to play Madden. So now. We have 4 questions. These are my last 4 questions for my kids, except for Shai. She keeps sending them in because she's just a great kid. I hope she has a great junior season. I know she's in volleyball right now, so respect, kid. You keep doing what you do.
Thanks,
So
Shy.
That's our kid. I wish I would have liked Spider-Man 4, but it didn't happen. So she says, if you could make a manipulative for your console of choice, what would that be? So I'm going to give you guys a little time because, I get to see this stuff early. Mine would be, I would love not amiibos, but collector statues of my favorite guys from the Halo franchises, from Gears of War, from Sea of Thieves, from Forza, a couple car ones, and not like itty bitty, but like something like I've got my Hulk piggy bank, but something, a good 6-8 inches, really nice, something classy. But when you buy it, it gives you in-game DLC of some sort. So not only do you get the cool little physical trophy, but you get some extra bonus stuff for getting them. I just would really love something like that because, I love that the amiibos give you a little bonus when you put them in and everything. But I honestly couldn't tell you where our box of amiibos are since we moved. Okay, I just found the Switch. It was in a box in the garage. I would love something that's actually personable that I actually care about. Like what you were talking about earlier today, the Cade statue that I got.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that I actually care about with characters I actually want to buy this beautiful piece of art for, to have something in game that kind of ties that together. So that would be mine. I would love, some really nice statues and figures that tie into the game somehow with either DLC and not just like money. Like maybe you get a special helmet or a special shader if it's a Destiny guy or in Halo, like something people will go, oh man, they bought that statue and they have that at home. That's so cool. That would be mine. Go ahead, Dev.
Okay, so I'm going to flip it because Destiny is actually doing something that I like a lot better. Right now, they have an actual reward system. So when you complete certain achievements in the game, it unlocks something that you can actually purchase to go along with that achievement. So like right now, if you get the Ace of Spades gun, once you actually complete the exotic quest line to get that gun, it then opens up the ability for you to purchase a replica of that gun. They also have another one for another gun that's really difficult to get. So you get the replica of that. You can also, once you've got the Cade 6 gun, the Ace of Spades, you also can get a t-shirt. And then once you just beat the campaign, you actually get to download the soundtrack for the game for free. And I don't know if you know, but Bungie does amazing things when it comes to music. So like the score for the game is really, really, really good. So I like the reverse of that, because I feel like now as it is, like as you buy a collector's edition, you're going to get some kind of little extra download or DLC whenever you get it. Like with Spider-Man, I believe it was like you had extra costumes. With Destiny, we got a shader and some other stuff to go on the guns and your armor, and you got a special ship. Like you got Cade Stash, so you got his ship and a bunch of other stuff when you bought like the collector's edition. So I like the reverse of when you complete certain challenges in the game, you can actually get real life items that represent those achievements.
Nice. Big Sean, how about you?
Dude, I don't even know. Your answers are so good. And I'm like racking my brain, like, go to Luke next. I have no idea. I mean,
Luke, how about you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I got it. I'm ready. I got two. I got so excited here. First, Xbox has done such a good job with Design Lab and controllers and stuff like that. I would love to see them do custom 3D printed avatars, like of your new avatar that they're making.
Why am I going after this?
If you could send out design your new avatar, because they're going to launch in October, by the way. So you build and design your new avatar, customize it however you like, and then they 3D print you a little mini avatar. I think or amiibo styled, avatar. I think that would be so cool. And then okay, no, I'm sticking with that. Final answer. That's the one. No, I like that one.
Back to Big Sean.
No, man, I can't go after that. That is so perfect. I want all of those things.
I know that, Luke, dude. That's amazing. I would love mine to be like a little bobblehead. So it's like me, because my guy's he's dribbling a soccer ball, so it has like the little soccer ball connected to his foot, and then like a little bobblehead. That'd be so good. Oh, that'd be the dopeness. That'd be so good.
So do the avatars already launched? Because as soon as I turned on my Xbox today, it was like, hey, you can create a new avatar. I didn't do
No,
it.
That's so cool that you got that.
Yeah, I turned mine on and it was asking me to do that, but my system was acting dumb. It wouldn't load. It was taking forever because my internet is special downstairs. But I guess they're live now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if Sean has nothing and he just wants to still
good. No, I'm just a big dum-dum.
I think you're great. Now, this next question, when I got this, and I remember the kid I got it from, I chuckled. I had a really good laugh. So here we go. This is from Mark. He says, take 2 seconds and just think about your best friend. Okay, we all did that. Now ask yourself, would you punch them in the face for $1,000, but they don't know you're going to do it? So, Dev, you thought about your buddy for 2 seconds. Would you punch him in the face for $1,000, and he doesn't know why you're about to punch him in the face? He thinks you're just meeting over some ramen. You just got done watching the Lakers play. You saw LeBron doing work. He has his bowl of noodles, and boom, right to the kisser.
My best friend is a large man. He has actually bounced me off of a floor for talking trash while he was playing Madden, and he was getting beat. We've also had several fights, because why not fight your best friend regularly? So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Okay, that's not as far as the pocket. All right, Big Sean, how about you?
This one I can answer. This is no problem. But I also have a very large best friend. My best friend is named Neighbor Matt, and he bench presses like 400 pounds. He's an absolute monster. I think that I would actually break my fist if I were to hit him in any like face or whatever in his muscles. I think I would just shatter my bones. But given the fact that we have free healthcare, hell yeah, I would totally do it. All those things considered, $1,000. Are you kidding me? Especially if you're saying American, $1,000 American.
That's like
$3
million Canadian.
Yeah, man.
No, that's just our copay for breaking our fist.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh man.
No, that'd be okay. But for real, No, I actually don't think that I could, because that would be an awful thing to do to somebody.
But then when you gave him part of the money, saying, "I won $1,000 for punching you in the face. Here's some money."
I mean, I guess he would be safe from my feeble arms, so like he actually wouldn't be hurt. He would just be like insulted, so he wouldn't really demand much of the cut. I don't think. Like he wouldn't want to take much of the $1,000. Maybe I could pay for his ramen that we're out for. That's it. Get away with that.
All right, Luke, you thought about your best friend. What would you do?
The problem is that when you said best friend, I thought of my wife. No.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
no. But you up that to $1 million, you're gonna get a Thor to Hulk pound right there. Just boom. I got your bills, and here's a new car, boo. Love you.
You see, you're punching the small arm also. The small arm.
Yeah, the weaker of the two. But I'll tell you this, guys, 1,000 doesn't go very far in the Lohr household. There's no way I'm risking that.
See, what's funny is I think my wife would tell me, if you don't punch me for this $1,000, we're gonna have a problem.
Oh man,
That's really funny.
no.
Oh man. So what I thought about this too, the first person I thought of was Lacey, my wife. And then I went to my buddy Jonte, and I was like, if it was Jonte, yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. Lacey, no, it's not happening.
That's right. Yeah, it changes things, doesn't it?
It does, but and it's one of those things where, so I like to joke, I'm like Shrek and Sully had a baby. I'm a very large dude, and I get that. And I remember once when we'd been married for I want to say 3-4 months, and I was listening to music, and I really love the sound records make. And so I had my headphones on. I was listening to a record because I didn't want to bother anybody. And I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm just sitting there listening to this album, and she came up behind me and she touched my shoulder. And the moment she touched me, I jumped, and so I jumped, and my elbow came back. She flew across the room, and I got her right in the stomach. And I remember she's laying there, something "Oh, you killed me! I'll never live again. This is the worst day of my life." And I just remember oh my goodness, I felt so bad. And she's trying, she's laughing and crying at the same time. So no, I couldn't. It's not worth it for $1,000 because I'm not gonna happen. But for Tay, yeah, I would punch Tay in the face. You could give me $10 and I'd give Tay a little love into the chin. All the crap that guy's giving me. By the way, he's been watching this whole episode and he's texted me twice. So Tay, yeah, I'm giving you one right to the noggin. You can remember that. Put that in the bank, bud. So
awesome. That's a perfect segue into the curveball.
Oh, curveball. Hope your weight's back.
All right, so this goes into the question I have that Mo didn't know was coming. So with that in mind, with him giving his wife the elbow to the gut and her pretending like she had died and it was the worst day ever, what is the worst prank someone has played on you? Whether it was something that you thought was real or just freaked you out.
Oh man.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start so you guys can get your brains to figure out. But this is something that was burned. It has been burned in my brain. It was something that happened when I was maybe 2 years old. So I'm being babysat by my next door neighbors. And we're making chili or something like that. And for some reason, they have a paintball gun that they're also playing with. It just happens to be out. And the dude who's babysitting, he comes up the stairs, and for some reason, I get the paintball gun and decide to shoot him twice in the chest. And of course, the paintballs that come out are red. So I am sitting here thinking that I just shot this dude, and I am traumatized. I'm freaking out. I run into the other room. I cannot believe I just killed this guy. I just killed my babysitter. I'm freaking out. And of course, he played it off he grabbed his chest and stumbled down the stairs and everything. And his sister, who was also the babysitting with me, went along with it. And I was just completely traumatized and freaked out. I'm in the other room, shaking and scared. I can't believe I just killed a man. But no, it's just a paintball gun. And he was fine. But it freaked me out. And again, this was when I was 2 years old. And it's still clear as day burned into my brain.
Oh my gosh.
That would mess with me.
So, Sean, since you said you have exactly one ready, go ahead.
Oh man. Oh, okay. So this is going back into middle school, I guess, grade 7. We called it junior high. So grade 7, grade 8, 1997, 1998, somewhere around there. And my good friend, his name is Marco, very good looking guy, dating a very good looking. It's weird to think about, like, when you're that young, like you're just like 12 or 13. So I guess for 12 or 13-year-old, these are good looking
13-year-old, your eyes.
Okay. Thank you for making it okay. Thank you.
You're
Yep.
right. Creeper.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So him and I would go back and forth. We would prank each other, and there's this could go on and on, this story actually, but we'll save it to hit for his prank, and maybe one day we'll tell my side of the story of why I did something awful to him, but we'll leave this out of that. He wanted to get back at me big time, so he tells me something awful has happened. He has broken up with his girlfriend, and they'd been dating for like a year, right? And back then, that's forever. They may as well have been married.
No,
So
They
it's
got
this.
divorced.
They got divorced. It's this crazy thing. They were supposed to be the ones that like proved that you could like be together forever and all that stuff. So they break up, and he's like, yeah, she's taking it pretty rough. She's really not doing so well. So like, could you like keep an eye on her and stuff like that? I'm like, yeah, that's a little weird, but like, what do I know? I'm just a dumb idiot, 12, 13 or 14-year-old, whatever it was. And so lunchtime goes around, and he asked me, so have you seen her? Have you seen how's she doing? And I'm like, I haven't seen her. Maybe I'll go find her. And we go actually looking together, and this is where everything just goes to hell. So he finds her, and she's just pounding back a full bottle of like Tylenol or some sort of painkiller, like just to numb the pain. She's just like self-medicating to this crazy degree, and she starts convulsing and starts like collapsing to the ground, and he catches her, and everybody's freaking out, like, what is happening? Like, how would you do this to yourself? Like, why? He's just Marco. And she's freaking out, and she's about, like, she looks like she's dying in front of me, and he throws her to me and says, like, hold her, I gotta go call somebody. And I'm like, what do you mean hold? Like, it's like a Pulp Fiction thing. I feel like I'm gonna have to like stab her in the heart pretty soon here. And I'm holding her, and I'm like, I don't, like, at that age, grade 7, I'm not touching girls, man. Like, how am I touching this girl? And I'm holding her, and then she just like stands up and yells boo in my face, and I fall flat on my ass. And it's all a ruse. It's all because I messed with them a little earlier, and they got me big time, man. And I just like, I'll never forget it. But that was definitely the worst prank that anybody ever pulled on me.
That is good stuff.
Fake suicide. It's not cool, man.
No, it's not.
Neither is real suicide, for the record.
Both bad.
Yeah.
All right, take it away, Mo.
Okay. People are going to think I'm joking, and I'm not. I want you to understand that this is me being 100% transparent. As a teacher, I find being open and honest with my kids is how I build relationships, and I talk to them the way I would talk to a friend. And I let them know, like, I am the person in charge. Like, that my job is to keep you safe and protect you and to give you knowledge, to impart wisdom. But at the same time, like, I want you to feel safe in this room. So sometimes, I'll tell them a funny story about myself or me growing up or things to connect. And I remember I had a student, her name, I'm going to call her Scooby. That's the nickname I gave her. But when I met her on the first day of school, she was brand new. She came in from New York, and I made her laugh the entire first day, and I became her favorite class.
Uh-oh.
Did he just freeze on you guys?
Yeah, he froze on me. Shine,
I
you there?
thought it was me.
I thought
It's all frozen for me anyways.
Okay. Am I here now?
You are.
What did we miss?
We know that you like
in New
Scooby.
York.
Okay. So I had her for 3 years, and me and I built this really good relationship. She's one of my favorite kids. And one day she was going through, I think it was a breakup, and she was talking about how scared she was and things like this. And I was like, I've only ever been afraid of one thing. And I'm going to tell you what it is. And you're going to laugh because you're going to think I'm joking, but I mean it. She goes, okay. I go, I'm terrified of the Quaker oatmeal guy. And she's like, what? Exactly how you three just responded. And I was like, his beady eyes, they follow you around the room, and I would walk in, and he would be in that stupid oatmeal container, and I would just be trying to get some water, and I would feel like he's watching me. and he would give me nightmares. Like I'm talking like legit like nightmares. I would dream of that creepy Quaker, like hunting me down, chop me up, the whole thing. So she left, and eventually, she got over the breakup, and we get to, I think it was her senior year. It might have been her junior year. I'm leaving to move to Texas. So on the last day of school, this kid and the rest of her classmates put the Quaker oatmeal guy all over my room. Little stickers, little posters. And the worst part was his face was mine. They made me the monster. And it's all over the place. And I mean, I walk in my classroom and I'm like, oh, dear Jesus, it's everywhere. And so I'm ripping these things down and throwing them away. And then I pull up my desk and they're on top of the keys on my keyboard. Every section of my classroom covered in these little monsters. And they are dying as they see me throwing these things around. And I'm like, just visibly upset. To make matters worse, they all come in and apologize. Like, we're so sorry, coach. We're going to help you get them all. I turn on my PowerPoint for that day, and they had changed the first slide. And it's Quaker Oatmeal Coach up there.
Yes.
They apologize again. And I go, are we done? Is this over? You guys, this isn't funny anymore. I am upset. I go, yeah, we're done, coach. We're so sorry. Like, we love you. We're going to miss you. I go through the rest of the day. At the end of the day, they announce, hey, we got a cake for you, coach. We want to, to celebrate you. We're going to throw a little party for you. And I'm like, okay. So I go there. My seventh period, it's off. It's my prep period. I go in. I'm hanging out. The cake has a Quaker Oatmeal guy in it with my face.
Oh, my God.
I walked out. I didn't have a piece of that cake. But to this day, it's like, it is very funny. But it was also very, 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 very horrible because I really hate that guy. So.
Oh, that's good stuff. So, Luke, you're left.
Let's see. Okay, so not the worst, but the one that stands out, I guess, just trying to process. I continue trying to juggle stories. My wife's grandmother freaks me out. Just freaks me out. And because the first time I went home, like, with her to meet the family, right? Her mom, her stepdad went off to go do something, and she went to go take a shower, and I'm left in the living room with her grandmother. And her grandmother, I don't know. I can't tell if she can see or not. I have no idea. But she was sort of looking at me, and she couldn't hear me, and she just stared at me for like 20 minutes. Just 20, and I would try to talk to her. And eventually, like, I got nothing to talk to her. She can't hear me. I don't know if she can see me. But she's fully aware. She's cognizant. But she freaks me out a little bit, right? And it became a running joke in our family over the past few years that, grandma's going to hang out with Luke because it freaks me out a little bit. Okay? And she'll just now she stares at me and thinks it's hilarious because she didn't know she was staring at me. So flash forward 3 years or 2 years or whatever to our wedding day. And my father-in-law disappears for a little bit, and then he's back, and I don't think anything of it because I'm like, oh, could he have done the car decoration thing, painted the car, whatever? No idea. 6 hours later, we finally get back to the hotel room. You're too tired on your wedding day to do anything. You don't like all that stereotype. Nah, whatever. You're just too exhausted because you've been running around and stuff. And I walk into the bathroom to just to go to the bathroom. And I lift the seat, and there's a picture of Grandma taped to the seat. And I'm like, oh gosh, what the heck? Freaky weird. All right, that's awful. Sure, whatever. Tear it off, handle my business, go to wash my hands, look into the mirror. Boom, picture of Grandma taped to the mirror. Oh God. Oh my goodness. Oh, too much. Walk out in there, tell my now wife, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I think Ed posted pictures of your grandma in the bathroom. And she goes, what? That's crazy. Take off my clothes, go to hang up in the closet. Bam, picture of Grandma. Ridiculous. My wife's on the couch in the suite watching, I think, Pirates of the Caribbean or something. And we finally get settled for bed. Again, too tired. I don't mean funny business. I mean tired. So go over to the bed, pull the covers back. Pictures of grandma. Guys, they were everywhere. They were everywhere. The next morning, I found them behind towels. I found them underneath the couch. I found pictures of grandma all over our wedding suite, courtesy of my father-in-law.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man,
Good
it was a
stuff.
total mind job. It was to this day, guys. That's all I got. I can't go further.
The curveball goodness. Now we have 2 more questions. This one comes from Jake. And he says, thank you guys for all you do. Is there any advice you would give to a junior in high school? So, Dev, I'm going to have you go first.
Junior in high school. That's like a really important year when it comes to getting into college. Honestly, like focus on school. Make sure that you're actually making this time worth it. A lot of times you get, into college or you get past college and you look back on the high school years and think about all the stuff that you should have done or could have did. So like if there's anything that you're thinking about that you want to do your junior year, do it. Like just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get that time back. You're not going to get a do-over. So if there's something that's just even an inkling, like, you know what, I think I might want to do this, just go ahead and do it. That way you don't look back and you're regretting or thinking, oh man, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have played this sport or tried this out. Just do it, man. Go for it. And just that way you don't have any regrets to look back on. That's all I got.
All right. Luke, how about you?
We get this question in teaching a lot. I think the best advice is to anyone is to remember who's taking care of you, really taking care of you, paying your bills, feeding you, and emotionally supporting you. And remember that they're the people that actually matter, the ones that are there throughout, and be good to them. Be good to them, because a lot of times junior year, it's when you're starting to feel yourself and starting to kind of get in your feelings and think you're grown, and you are, because you got the keys and you're driving and stuff. Which, remember your own mortality and be good to the people that are actually taking care of you, that'll be there 6 years later. Because a lot of times you think somebody will be, but it's the family that's there for you. If you're be better to them and be better than the people that came before you every time.
Good stuff. Big Sean.
Yeah, man, that's really good. I there's so many different directions that we could go with this one. I'm gonna go. Can I say 2 things? I want to say 2 things.
Yes, it's the OT again. We're not really big in this whole rules thing.
So academically, I think, like as a junior, first couple of years of high school, like load it up, man. If it's possible for you to finish high school with fewer responsibilities and more free time, do that. Like if you can load up with courses and get your credits or whatever it is, like for us in Canada, you can load up with as many things as possible. You can do like pre-university level courses and get like years worth of credits. So by the time I was in grade 12, I only had to go to school for like half a day. And it was amazing. I had all this free time. I could get ready for what the next phase was in life. I could hang out with friends. And I just felt like so rewarded for having put in the time and the effort in the early days. And it helps you practice that reward, or practice the work ethic that gets you the reward of, holy crap, I can do what I want. So I would do that if possible. The other thing that I would do, not from an academic standpoint, but more on a social standpoint, within kind of the craziness that is high school, try to be the person that, if you can, that kind of like is able to like go in and out of cliques, or doesn't even like see the lines between the cliques or the groups. Like, I think that if there's ever a regret, maybe, or I don't know if it's necessary to avoid a regret, but to be able to talk to all the different groups and not be locked in on like, well, if I'm friends with this person, then I can't be friends with that person. It's such an awful place to be. And it's what I think is one of the worst aspects of high school is this person's cool and that person's not cool. If you can get past all of that, if you can like ignore all of it and just be friends with who you want to, be friends with who you genuinely connect with, if it's the nerds or the jocks or the whoever it is, do that, man. Just see through all the bullshit and just get to the good stuff, because there's a lot of good stuff in high school, man. It's a lot of fun to be had.
Nice. Jake, you know that from having me as a teacher, the biggest thing that I preach is never be scared to shoot your shot. Okay. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, especially with relationships. So if there's a girl that you think's really gorgeous or smart or funny, and you want to ask them out, go for it. And if they say no, go ask somebody else out. Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors. There are different flavors for everybody. So never be scared to try a relationship. And when you're told no, back away. So to help you with this, though, Shy, Jake would like to know, if him shooting a shot, if you'd be his homecoming date for this Friday.
No way. No way.
You thought I wouldn't do it? I got your back. So, Shy, if you say yes, awesome. You have a great date. And Shy, if she says no, Jake, it's okay. Just ask somebody else. Okay, be respectful. All right, our last question.
That's the coolest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah,
That's just gonna walk on like that.
Our last
OT
question.
setting
Guys,
people up.
I don't want to prolong it. We want to let him. That's how he wanted to ask her, and I have no problem obliging because he knows that she loves the show and she loves listening to us chat on. So, Shy girl, we love you to pieces. All right, we love what having you around and being a part of our community. Thanks, kiddo.
We need to know the answer on the next episode. We need to know.
Okay, that's important.
I'm sure we will find out. Okay, they're good kids. They keep the old man informed. All right, our last question comes from Tiana, and Tiana wants to know, what is the biggest thing that pushes you to keep podcasting when you're so busy? And I'm guessing this is more towards me and Dev, so you guys can kind of spin it for how you find time to do your show, especially when mix happens. But T, the thing is, like, there are a few people on this planet that I get to just be me with. I can be a jock. I can be intellectual. I can be open and honest and sincere. I can be myself. What I love about my wife is that she loves a person who I'm very, very I have a lot of things that I'm passionate about, and she's okay with that. And so to find another person who feels the same way I do, T, and Dev, is the reason, like, even when this is really hard, even when this is tough, like, for us to find time and etch out time to do this, I love having a person I get to share this stuff with. And so for me, like, that's what pushes me to keep doing the OT, is that I've got my dude Dev, who I just am so grateful for. That he kind of helps inspire me to want to do better. He's the reason that I'm still working on this huge article. And so that's how I do it. So, Dev, I'm gonna give you time because I can tell you're a little emotional right now, because that was some good sauce I just put out right there, man.
Right here.
That's going on your mixtape, and you're gonna be listening to it and falling asleep to it. That's good. That's where we go. So, Big Sean, we're gonna go with you. How do you push through to do all the things you're doing right now on the podcast front?
I would say that, like, if it's ever hard, it's only before I've started. Like, if there's ever a point where I'm like, man, this is gonna be like, how am I gonna just get down and do it? I'm so tired. I could be doing anything else. And then I start doing it. I'm like, I feel better instantly. Like, podcasting is just one of those things. And I think it relates to a lot of creative endeavors that once you get past that block, whether it's writer's block or recording something, it feels good, man. And I can honestly say that, like, podcasting has saved my life. Like, I went through a really dark period last December and happened to talk to Mr. Lohr through some of that stuff. And, like, it led me to just believe and discover the power of talking things out and being open. And if things get difficult again, I feel like I have podcasting to kind of help me through it. Whether it's directly talking about things or just having connections with people on a week-to-week basis, then that's always going to be there for me. I can't imagine a point in my life where I'm not doing this, or at least a version of this. And then the last thing that I would say about it is you find as time goes on and you're not sleeping, 12 hours a day and doing whatever you want with every moment of your life, you just find every crevice of time. You just kind of look at a clock differently. You're just like, oh, I've got a half an hour driving home from work, so why don't I record a podcast then? Which is, like, literally what we do. So you just find new like hours or half an hours or whatever it is throughout the day that you didn't even know was there, and then you just make that happen. It's about prioritizing and realizing what you want to do with your time versus what you don't want to do with your time, and ultimately it's choices. Even instead of doing this, we could be playing video games, we could be sleeping, we could be doing a couple of things. But once we get going, this is the best thing in the world, man.
That was a great answer. Luke, how about you, bud?
For me, I got into podcasting a long time ago with soccer stuff. That's where the MLS reserves come from. And I podcasted with a friend Pedro, and now I have the absolute privilege to be on the Xbox Drive with Sean, which is a more recent thing. And in both cases, it became a state to hang out with one of my best friends or somebody I consider very close or important in my life. And that I knew no matter what, that I had this window to talk about my favorite thing in the world with one of my favorite people in the world. And that quelled a lot of anything. I just, because I get very nervous and anxious and I battle a lot of like inner demons. And so connecting to our community through a screen is amazing. And so to have a standing date with one of people, with someone like Sean, and who I consider to be a very close friend now, it's hope. Like if Monday sucks, I know Wednesday is coming. That's our recording day, and that means the world. Like Wednesday is a long day at work for me, and that evening I know it's get off work, and if I'm not working a game, a sports game for my kids, I'm coming home and I'm working out, and then it's shower, do the notes, Sean time, and like that. I got something to look forward to. And then Thursday morning, it's all right. I wake up before everybody, apparently, because I'm an old man. But I tweet my picture of the coffee, and then through the morning, I'll see notifications. My phone will light up, and I'll know people are sending pictures of their coffee, tweeting the Xbox Drive, talking about the show, telling us they listened to it or they disagreed with us. And it's that connection to people. I have a standing date with my best friend, and then the next day, people are talking to us about what we did. That the world, and it extends into other things, but that's for podcasting it.
Yes. All right, Dev, you're up, man.
It's therapy. I mean, we've all kind of said it. Like it's a therapeutic thing. Like honestly, being able to sit down with Mo and just talk to Mo about whatever we're going to talk about on the OT, it's a therapeutic thing for me. It's really hard for me to find time to do things just for myself in general. Like I a lot of times deal with like feeling guilty for taking time out to do stuff that I want to, when like I could be doing stuff with the kids or hanging out with my wife or doing whatever. So I try to make it a point to make sure that I have time etched out to do this, because it's something that I need to do, honestly, for me. Like being able to come and hang out with one of my best friends and just talk. Like we don't do show notes. We're not prepared, as we like to say. And it's just a hangout show. Like this is just me hanging out with my bud and just talking. And it's something that I look forward to every week. And it's therapy for me. It's therapeutic. It's something that I definitely need, and I love doing it and will continue to do it until I can't.
Good stuff. Now, we get to my favorite part of the show that we have actually forgotten to do. It's time for us to talk about Game of the Year 2019. So here we go. I'm going to go with Luke. Luke, as of right now, this moment, 10/6/2018 at 11:52 p.m. Eastern, what is your Game of the Year?
It has to have come out this year, right?
You had to have played it is our only requirement.
Yep.
Had to have played it is Assassin's Creed Origins. I played that this year. I got the like full DLC thing, and that game was just incredible. It was incredible.
All right.
And I haven't played Odyssey yet, so
works for me. Big Sean, Game of the Year right now. What do you got?
Things have gotten a lot more interesting now than the last time I was on the show. I was like, I guess Far Cry 5 still, or maybe Celeste. Like I've dabbled in a little bit of Spider-Man. I'm the only person on the planet who hasn't platinum that apparently yet.
Oh no, I haven't either.
The LT is not platinum. In fact, the LT is only 5 minutes of Spider-Man, maybe.
Spider-Man is good. Forza Horizon is everything I wanted it to be. In the early hours of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, man, this is a very, very good looking game. So in the whole, like, you got to choose right now, knowing that I'll probably have a chance to change it later, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is top tier gaming right now, man. It is so good. I'm loving it. It's all I'm thinking about right now.
Nice. That's
Xbox Drive is drinking the Kool-Aid of Assassin's Creed.
That's because they had Forza early, so.
Yeah, we're over it.
Dev, how about you? Game of the Year right now.
Oh my God, it's Destiny 2 Forsaken. Jesus, there's so much game there. It's not even funny. Like it is beyond what I would have expected it to be. Like I was not expecting to have this much game and still have this much new content still coming. There's another event that's actually coming in 2 weeks, and then later on in the fall we have another expansion or DLC. So it's been an amazing ride, and there's still a ton of stuff in the game I haven't done yet. So Destiny 2 Forsaken, hands down, is game of the year for me right now.
So you guys have heard mine for the last however many episodes. It's been NHL 19.
I want to yell at you about this, by the way.
Oh, you can yell. It doesn't change the fact that it's an amazing game and I love it.
You can't. No, it can't be game of the year. The commentator is so bad. The play-by-play is so awful. It can be great.
Now, how much of the Chell League have you done?
None. I can't get past. I can't get past this play-by-play. I want Jim Houston back.
Go jump
in
that.
Back.
Go jump in that real quick.
Okay.
And then come see me. Okay, because that
Can
thing.
you do play-by-play instead? Can I like stream it?
Stream it. I'll talk all day.
Like, you do the play-by-play instead.
I'm pretty sure my Blackhawks beat somebody's Blues. Brian, who was texting me about them being up 2-1, ended up being a 5-4 in OT. Thank you, Blackhawks, for shutting up another Blues fan. I appreciate all you do on the ice. Kane is able.
Mm-hmm.
But
I love that.
Thank you.
That is
However, I'm telling you right now, NHL 19 is no longer my game of the year.
Good.
Is it Hollow Knight? It should be Hollow Knight.
My game of the year is FIFA 19.
Oh,
FIFA 19's story mode is so much more improved from what happened last year. Now, the 17 one was perfect. It was the epitome of what we wanted. Last year was it was
sophomore slump.
Sophomore slump. But this one, oh
nice.
My goodness, folks. And they brought back some modes that I needed. They fixed some of the things in FUT. But I really love the single player stuff they're letting me do. I love the letting me just play and letting me jump in and just enjoy some soccer. FIFA 19 has done it again in the fact that they have increased what I needed them to increase. Okay, when their story mode dropped off last year, there wasn't enough changes in the other modes to get me playing because my favorite league is in Ireland, which is not very competitive soccer. So if you can get a guy who's like a 74, yeah, you can win that whole thing. You can run right through it. Okay. Their increases in the story and the single player stuff that you can do, as well as with the FUT, completely changes the game for the better. And they're taking the good stuff that Madden did, and they're taking the good stuff that NHL did in their ultimate leagues and gave me a better mode. And man, oh man, is it good.
That's awesome, man.
Now, I will tell you, I'm only about 25 hours in. I've played on 25. I've played on the Switch, and I'm playing on the Xbox One. I will not play on the PS4 because EA has proven to me that FIFA is worse on the PS4 than it is on the Xbox. I think it's the controller issue. I can put a ball through with my Elite controller and have my guy track it. I can cross better. Everything I can do on with my Xbox, my control on the Xbox, I cannot do on the PS4 controller, like as comfortably. So I won't buy it there. But man,
it's like changing your name. So weird.
Such so good. So my game of the year right now, FIFA 19.
Hey, Coach, question for you. Why don't they have sports games where you can just press the button and it'll do it? You remember like back in the day, like pass, shoot, block.
Have you?
I miss NHL hits for that reason. It was so fast and fun.
Do you remember when you were doing your Let's Plays of all the Call of Duty games?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When you were playing those, did you ever think in your head, man, I really miss Contra?
Oh, okay. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It does make sense. That's a great analogy.
Okay.
Wow.
That's the reason
but we do have Contra type games.
Mm-hmm.
And do you choose to go play those over playing Call of Duty? Like when you go to bed at night and you want it, but
like, are you playing Broforce? Like, really?
If you want to play a shooter tonight, if you want to play a shooter tonight, are you gonna go? Hey, I'm gonna go play Broforce, or I'm gonna go play Call of Duty. Like, where does your brain go? Like, what's the one you want to play right now?
Of the two, yeah, Call of Duty. Okay.
Same thing here. The reason they stopped making the easy peasy sports game is because people who really love sports want the control. They want to be able to do these things. They want to be able in NHL to deke somebody. I'm sorry, the triple deke from Mighty Ducks, it's still the only move I want to pull off every NHL season I play. Okay. Every time. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the video of the kid who did the lacrosse move where he scooped it up in the air and then back shouldered it in the back. And then, oh my goodness, I want that move. If they add that anytime soon, guys, I'm going to be going Hambo behind the net. Okay, I'm going to be, it's going to be good sauce. But
that's going to be in the NHL hits version of the game.
But those
it'll be a power meter for sure.
Those are the things we want to do. And in the one button press sports game, you can't do it. So
gotcha. That's an incredibly good analogy. I love that. I'm stealing that, by the way.
Go right ahead. Again, as somebody who loves sports games as much as I do, I just want people to understand, like, when they go, well, it got too difficult. No, you just stopped wanting to learn. Okay, there's a difference between too difficult and not being willing to learn.
Yeah, you can go play Tecmo Bowl where you don't actually pick a defense. You just pick what you think the play is going to be if you want the one-button game.
Yeah. So, all right. With that, it's time for us to talk about the things we've got up and coming. So, Sean, what's on the forefront for you, good sir?
I'm still trying to think if I agree with that analogy or not, but I'll ruminate about that later. Wait, what was the question? Am I supposed to tell you about what we're doing?
Yeah, what's coming up? You pitch your stuff. You talk about all the things because we're getting ready to get out of here, my friend.
Okay, well, I do the Xbox Drive, of course, with Luke on every Thursday, and We the Gamercast launches every Monday. That's where I have sweet hangs with strangers from the internet. Man, Coach, we got to get you on, man. You're like one of the. Got to get you on.
You tell me when and where. I'll be there.
Okay, next week we'll talk off because man, if this show is storytelling and everything, like that show is built for you to be on it. Cool. Also, teachers should be podcasters. All teachers should be podcasters. And then if we're on Nintendo, but nobody cares about that. So if we're on We the Gamercast is great. The Xbox Drive is great. If we're on Nintendo, is fine. And you can find me on Twitter at Sean Capri. It's Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants.
All right. Luke, how about you, bud?
You can find me on Twitter at MLS Reserves. And then if you want to join me over on Mixer, mixer.com/insipidghost. I'd love to have you guys there as well.
All right. Dev, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, you can find me at DevATias on the Twitters. If you didn't notice, me and Mo took over PSVG proper. That'll be sometime, I think Monday is when that comes out. I don't really know, but go check that out. Otherwise, you've got us on the OT every Tuesday. Other than that's all I got. Just come chat with me on Twitter because I'm there all the time.
All right. You guys know about the article, the thing I've been working on. I'm not going to talk about that. I ain't got time for it. Okay. You already heard all the things that I'm doing, which is what I love. But the thing I want to talk about is something we just talked about on PSVG proper, which you're going to hear tomorrow. But I want to just restate it for our fans. And I know for some students who also want to be involved in this. I created a scholarship fund to help teachers at my former college. And so this year I was able to have 2 $500 scholarships. And next year I'm going to have 2 more $500 scholarships that go towards teachers who are playing a sport or in a club at the college level. Because as someone who did sports, I know how time consuming it is. And I want to make sure that those future teachers are getting a little bit of fundage to help out. On Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, after the Bears game, I will be streaming for 24 hours, just like an Extra Life. What I'm looking for is I want to help raise some money for Nate over there at PSVG proper, one of our dudes, the Spider Jedi, and his Extra Life. And my big goal is I want to raise $500 so I can have a third scholarship through the school for a kid for next year, for a future teacher. All the money will be donated straight to the school. We've already worked it out. They're going to have a link. So on that day it goes live. You guys can donate. You can watch. But that's the thing I want to pitch. I asked Bossman Don. He was cool with me putting it out there. My goal is to get more money in the hands of future teachers because here's the thing. We need more of them. And we need them to have some morals and to have some help because not every teacher graduates with no student loans. And I want to make sure that I help a little bit any way I can. So that's my thing. So with that, Here's all my buddies. The Xbox Drive, our sponsors. Our sponsor for today, still the Xbox Drive. But also, I want a big shout out to Pepper Jack Cheese for upping their sponsorship of the OT. So our platinum sponsor is Pepper Jack Cheese. Thank you. And our gold sponsor is the Xbox Drive. Thank you guys so much for listening, family. We love you. We appreciate you. And for us, it's game over.
Shut up and sit down.